everybody. I trust you're all well, that you had a wonderful weekend as well. I just have 3 points that I'd like to raise with you. I am not going to be in cell phone reception when it comes to Tuesday, so I will not be able to be reached. I know that you guys are planning the session for this week Friday, so I need this to be aced. I need you to have everything sorted for this week, and Jade is going to be in charge. She's the one that you need to communicate with, and I'm going to ask that everybody has everything sorted by Wednesday, because if something can't happen on Friday, for example, you can't communicate on the day to say that, okay, Keenan, okay, Jada, we are unable to have things sorted by Friday, or we are unable to have things sorted by Thursday, but you have it on Wednesday, because then you can communicate with it, you can communicate it, and then people can also understand that, okay, you need help in a specific thing. So number one, the session is happening this week, Friday, the 24th of January 2020, 6:30 to 8:30. Try to see to it that you are maybe there till about 9 o'clock, because sometimes we wait for the parents, and I know that some of the youth are going to cater a little bit afterwards, but just till about 9 o'clock. Okay, so session for Friday, I'm going to ask that Luke and your facilitation team, you try to have everything sorted when it comes to session. It's going to be a social night, so we try to have it as easy as possible. So lots of games and icebreakers for the youth to get to know one another, and also a short scripture and a short meditation. So nothing hectic, nothing too serious. It's not an issue night. It's not a night that we're going to talk about drug and alcohol abuse. It's just going to be a nice light night. But try to get the icebreakers and the games to such an extent that the youth are going to get to know one another, get to know what my favorite color is, so what I like eating, what I like doing over the weekend, have I ever been overseas, things like that. So try to look for those sort of icebreakers. Also get them to break into their small groups when it comes to color groups. Start that foundation, get them to break into their small groups. In the small groups, they need to do a war cry for the group, so it's going to be like they're going to be battling the other group. So if we're doing certain activities, we have the youth doing the war cry. Then they also need to have a bigger group where they're going to have the bigger group war cry, where everybody's going to do the same thing, and that's basically going to be to welcome new youth are going to come in. So if we have new youth joining us next week, then we have a war cry to welcome that youth. That's what was discussed at the meeting last week. Okay, so that's what needs to happen, and we also need to set ground rules when it comes to our sessions. So the youth need to come up with that. We need to guide them as facilitators to talk about, okay, so what do they want? What do they want out of a session when it comes to respect, when it comes to values, when it comes to cell phone usage and technology? Should they be allowed to play on their cell phones during a session? Or shouldn't they? Should they put it away? Should it be like school? Should they be allowed to have their cell phones? Yes or no? It's up to them. It's up to you as well, and you need to try to give your influence there, but also allow them to set the tone for youth for 2020. So everybody's going to be involved. That's when it comes to facilitation. That's Luke's department. Luke and your team, you need to sort out facilitation, the games, the icebreakers, the scripture, everything needs to be sorted by Wednesday. Communicate with everybody, tell them, okay, so this is the session, these are the games, this is the breakdown, this is what we want to do for the night, this is our main objective, this is the goal, and this is the vision that we set for the night to kick off the 2020 youth. Then we were talking last week when we met that we would like to get everybody involved. So that's facilitation, hospitality and welcoming. Merville, this is your department with your group. I'd like to ask that as the youth arrive, that everybody arrives at about the youth are going to arrive from before 6:30. They're going to be there. So I ask that we as facilitators, we there before that. So by 6:15 latest, that you arrive at Worthorn House, that everything's open, everything is set up, that welcoming and hospitality, when you are there, that you are there to welcome the youth, you are there to greet the youth, you're there to make them feel welcome, that we don't have this clique anymore of us as facilitators just chilling by ourselves, but that we actually go out and we ask the youth how they're doing, how they're finding school, the school year, talk about the holidays, just get to know them personally as youth and chill with them, because it is the youth club. All right. Then I also want to ask hospitality and welcoming. I know that it's January, guys, but if you're able to bring whatever you can when it comes to snacks for after youth, because we still going to carry on with having the snacks afterwards. So if you have tea, you have coffee, you have sugar, you have milk, you have a cold drink laying around at home, you're able to buy some chips, biscuits, whatever, bring it along with you, because it is the first session. Bring the snacks with you that we can have it after youth on Friday. And then you also encourage the youth, if they're able to, bring a R5 with them the next time they come, or whatever they can, that can contribute to the kitty for the snacks. And then also, if youth are able to bring snacks along with them the following week, they're encouraged to do that. If they have some money on them on the night and they would like to contribute to the snacks kitty, take it from them and then use that for the snacks. Then when it comes to events planning, this is Jada and our ladies department. I'd like to ask that it doesn't have to be a big thing. It's just the launch night for youth. We have to try to make it as appealing as possible. I'd like to ask if you guys can maybe work on a projection slide that will be able to be playing, advertising certain things, pictures from previous youth nights. It can be Instagram snapshots that you guys take. It can be certain things like that, and just encouraging them to follow us on Instagram, follow us on social media, download the app, stuff like that, that's going to be appealing to them, that's going to be flashing up on the screen. But also when it comes to decor, if you guys are going to have something in the sense of balloons, you're going to have certain color scheme, whatever it is, that you'll be able to have that and have that put out, and that you'll be able to have it set out. So it's not just you're going into Wirthorn House, it looks like this dull place that you're going to go into, and we're going to try to make it as fun. So try to put in the effort when it comes to that. It's just a small thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. So that's to get the whole team as a core group involved. So that's facilitation. You guys are going to sort out the session. Hospitality and welcoming. You guys are going to make sure that the youth feel welcome. They make them feel at home. That goes for everybody. So facilitation, when you arrive there, try to interact with the youth too. And events planning to try to make it look as good as possible. The second thing, we need to begin planning our next big event, and the next big one is happening on the 15th of January, which is the Valentine's Ball. It's happening after our youth mass. So what I need you to do is, I need you as events planning to communicate with us how your planning is going, what your brainstorming is all about. Communicate that with us. You need to advertise it. You need to try to make the parish community as excited as possible for this thing, because it's our annual Valentine's Ball. It's the second time that it's happening. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it better. Also, if you're going to have judges, you need to talk about who you're going to have as judges for the on-ramp modeling show thing that we had last year. What are we going to have when it comes to the Valentine's Ball? So that's the thing. You also need to try to advertise it, get the parish community as amped up as possible, so it can be things that we're going to have on projection at church. It's stuff that we're going to post onto the app. Try to get them as keen as possible to come, because they're going to sacrifice a Saturday night to be there and to be part of us. Then we also need to communicate events. You guys need to communicate with Father when it comes to the mass, because he needs to be in the know that there is a youth mass happening on Saturday the 15th of Feb and no longer on Sunday the 16th of Feb. And then we also need to communicate with music. So I don't know if Ilse is in the group at the moment. I'm going to ask Ilse if she's maybe just able to advise in the group to let us know if there's a specific music ministry going to be playing at the mass, if we're able to request one of the bands, maybe the 10:30 band, to play at the 6:30, the 6 o'clock mass Saturday night, to try to make it as youth appealing and youth friendly as possible, but also tying into keeping it liturgically correct as possible as well. So we need to communicate with Father when it comes to him knowing that it is a youth mass, and the deacons need to know as well. And then we also need to communicate with Evelyn and let her know of the change in date, because I know that they have, according to the calendar, because our calendar was sent through to parish as well, that they need to know that our Valentine's Ball is no longer happening on the 14th, it's happening on the 15th, and our youth mass is no longer happening on the 16th, it's now happening on the 15th of Feb. So communicate that. Then I'm going to send a message to our youth teens group about our youth parish app, because we need as many youth as possible involved in it. They're going to get a bursary. Those youth that would like to partake and be a part of our parish app when it comes to posting things and uploads and just assisting with it, David Fenter has offered that he's going to give out a bursary to those youth in business administration business and administration, to those youth are going to be involved in it. So only Ruth so far has communicated and said she'd like to be involved, but try to get other youth involved as well. So try to communicate that with the youth, try to get them amped up about it, to download the app, and also get a list of those names about who would like to join and be a part of that team. Then I would like to ask that everybody, that's all of you, as well as all the youth, you need to communicate this with them on Friday. They need to diarize it. They need to put it onto their Google calendars and write a note on the fridge or something that they need to be at the Wednesday night mass on Wednesday, the 5th of Feb. What's happening is that we have a new deacon in our parish. If you didn't know, he's Deacon Christian Canterbury. He's moved to our parish from Matruisfontein Parish, and he is now a deacon within our parish. And Father would like to have a welcome mass and just a big thing as us as the parish community welcoming the new deacon into our parish. So we would like to fill the church up and make it as welcoming and as friendly and getting everybody involved as possible, and us as youth being a part of the social apostolate group falling under myself directly on PPC. It's been advised that we as social apostolate and youth falling under it as well, that we're going to be as actively involved as possible. So we're going to have the mass, which starts at 7 o'clock on Wednesday the 5th of Feb, and then afterwards we're going to have refreshments, which is a bring and share. I'd like to ask the youth, all the youth, and it includes us as well as facilitators and those on the core group, to bring along some refreshments. It can be tea, coffee, more things when it comes to beverages. When I'm talking about refreshments, the food and stuff's going to be sorted out by another ministry. So refreshments, talking about tea, coffee, juice, cool drink, whatever they're able to bring along, bring it along, and also just make a list of who's able to bring what, so we know how many bottles of cold drink we're getting, how many bottles of juice we're getting, how many tea bags we're getting, and how many tins of coffee, and if anybody's bringing sugar and milk. So bring those things along. But also, someone needs to bring some styrofoam cups as well. It's easy to dispose of. Styrofoam cups are going to work much better. When it comes to the night, everybody is going to be involved when it comes to ministry perspective, but I'd like to ask that the youth are going to be serving and distributing the refreshments when it comes to the beverages. So they're going to be in the kitchen, they're going to be pouring the tea, the coffee, the juice, the cold drinks. So if anybody wants anything, they can just collect it, and the youth are going to be manning that sort of thing. So that's it. That's the 4 points that I have. So it's the session for this Friday. Need to get that sorted. Luke and your team and everybody else needs to be involved in it. Would like to see everybody who's on this core chat, excluding myself. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. I'm not going to be in town. Everybody going to be there. If you're able to, don't bend over backwards if you're not able to, but facilitation, you need to be there. And then you also need to begin planning what we need to begin planning. Also, Luke, I ask that you just send the Archdiocesan email to everybody, and if you haven't yet send through your email address, please send through email address, and we can also send you youth-related emails. I know that Anzie, I know that Dorcas, you are new to the group, so please send through your email address that Luke can add you onto the database. So that's it. Sorry for the long voice note, but I thought it would be better if I send you a voice note. You can listen to it in your spare time than to read a long essay thing. So thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful week, and enjoy youth on Friday, and have a lekker time.